countdown to blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater. Lord Blood-Rah, good! Welcome. My lords and ladies, geeks, geekerellas, geekulas, and geekeritas, I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater. And tonight we have a rather obscure film from a great horror icon. One of the men responsible for the classic Universal Studios horror cycle, and the man who gave us the mesmerizing performance as the monster from 1931's Frankenstein, Mr. Boris Karloff. Tonight, from 1971, it's the Mexican tale of zombies, voodoo, and tropical dancing girls, the Snake People. Now, this film was released in 1971, but it was shot in 1968. Due to the sudden death of the producer, certain legal matters of ownership and rights had to be cleared up before the movie could premiere. As a result, this Boris Karloff film saw its debut 2 years after Mr. Karloff himself passed away in 1969. Well, my lords and ladies, without further ado, I give to you the sleepy little island of Corbai, where you can relax, escape the worries of the everyday world, and perhaps be eaten by a cannibal woman. Ha-ha! Here is the Snake People.
During many centuries, in various parts of the world, various diabolical rites and ceremonies have been practiced in homage to various sinister gods who are believed to have many supernatural powers. These rites are generally known as voodoo, which consists mostly of black magic and the cult of death. The practice of voodoo invokes the supreme god, Baron Samedi, who is supposed to be able to revive the dead. This rite is presided over by Damballa, a kind of supreme priest to whom the witches or followers dedicate their diabolical ceremonies. The same as the snake priestess. Unscrupulous adventurers take advantage of these superstitions to put docile native girls under their power, transforming them into zombies so they will submit to their primitive instincts. There are many existing opinions about the living death. The truth is that many strange and horrible stories are told, like the one that happened in Corbeil to Captain Pierre Labiche.
All that before the credits. And you know, I love seeing a person happy in their work. Like this little creepy guy. Careful with that chicken, huh? You're making it weird. Do you love horror, science fiction, B-movies, horror hosts, old-time radio, just plain spooky stuff? Then you should sign up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. You'll be supporting the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, featuring the best of old-time radio horror. Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, showing classic 1950s sci-fi shows for Star Cadets of all ages. Plus, you'll get exclusive access to bonus content like Behind the Curtains of the Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, a deep dive into radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, a look at a classic low-budget drive-in feature, and much more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy. That's what he meant. You are, anyway.
Answer me, or I destroy you.
Stop.
There's something behind this, something we don't understand. The weapon he uses, it's unheard of. Blasting flesh right off the bones.
Master control to fleet, set flight pattern to -.08. Increase speed.
They're coming right at us! Get down inside the cave!
Now back to the snake people, where actually the movie's just beginning, so let's see what happens.
Well, here we are.
Splendid. I didn't think it would be such a difficult trip.
Consider yourself fortunate that I was around to accompany you. I am sure people in these parts are unused to see a woman travel alone.
In due time, Captain Labiche. Women are no longer bonded to men as they were before. We know how to shift for ourselves.
I don't think that premise will hold true around here.
That remains to be seen.
Well, at any rate, if you need me, you have just but to say the word.
I don't think that will be necessary.
And about that club you belong to?
It's not a club. It's a well-founded organization that will change the world.
And how do you say it's called?
The International Anti-Saloon League.
Oh, quite right. Well, here we are. Oh.
I'll call a lieutenant.
I shall attend to that myself. I'll go along with you to the plantation later.
Thank you. How long will you be staying here?
Long enough to clean up the police department and reestablish law and order. Sergeant! Yes, sir. I am Captain Labiche, your new chief. Where is Lieutenant Wilhelm? Well? Deaf and dumb, huh? Never mind. I shall announce myself. Are these men prisoners?
Oui, prisoner,
My glass is empty. Thank you, Tony.
And the pleasure is mine, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't get word of your coming.
That is quite obvious. I am Captain Labiche. And of course you are Wilhelm.
Yes, sir. At your service, sir. Your glass is empty.
That won't be necessary. I never drink alcohol.
Bravo! Captain Labiche, as a citizen of the Republic, I am shocked to find alcoholism rampant in the law enforcement agency itself.
Alcoholism?
Lieutenant Wilhelm, Mademoiselle Vanderberg. Mademoiselle Vanderberg is a temperance worker.
What? Temperance, Lieutenant. The salvation of the world. Modern science has shown that alcohol is responsible for 99.2% of all the world's sins.
99.2.
Oh, I see that it's taken care of. I want you to come with me at once to the plantation of Karl van Mulder. I presume you know the man?
Of course. He owns almost half the island.
Mademoiselle Vanderberg is his niece. She intends to stay with him while she's here.
I see. Very good, but it's quite far from here.
In that case, we should leave at once.
Yes, sir.
What's this, Wilhelm?
It's a voodoo funeral, sir.
Voodoo?
I don't understand. What is this voodoo?
Oh, it's a native superstition. They will bury their dead in a special place, which is supposed to be protected by magic. And they'll keep a vigil for 3 days and 3 nights, just to be sure.
To be sure of what?
Oh, to be sure that the bodies cannot be raised and made to walk at night, forced to work in the field.
Which I gather doesn't happen too often.
Not too often.
What's the matter, mademoiselle? Did he frighten you?
Captain, sometimes even I get frightened by these people's eyes.
In those eyes, you can guess all the cruelty of their diabolical ceremonies. Ceremonies produced by sinister witches and under the guidance of the mysterious Damballa. Legends say they even produce human sacrifices. They gladly go to their deaths with the hope that they'll be accepted into the legion of the zombies, winning the favor of Baron Samedi, and this way enjoy the privilege of the living death. Karloff.
Dambala, Dambala, Dambala.
It wouldn't be strange if now they'd bury one of their victims.
Horror. Experience the subtle magic of old-time radio horror every week with Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Auditorium. Available on YouTube and most podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Auditorium.
Larry!
From the exotic geisha houses of Tokyo to the back alleys of the Ginza Strip comes the terrifying news of a fiendish creature that threatens to destroy all who stand in his way. This is the frightening story of an American reporter in Tokyo who unwittingly became the victim of a shocking scientific experiment that turned him into a horrible mutant, half man, half monster, the Manster.
What happened?
He got away.
I think I know where he's going, to Taras. Follow me.
Right. There's panic in the streets as the unheard-of terror of a half-man, half-monster runs wild through the city. There he goes! Don't miss The Manster, a genuine thriller in the most frightening sense of the word.
We now return to the Snake People as we enter the Van Mulder Plantation to see what intrigues await. It's Karloff.
Welcome, Lieutenant. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Oh, you have guests, I see. How charming. Do come in.
Herr Van Mulder, may I present...
Uncle Carl, don't you remember me? I'm Annabella.
Not little Annabella Vandenberg.
All grown up, as you could see.
Now, how many years has it been?
Oh, now, please, don't mention that.
And this is my superior from the mainland. Captain Labiche.
At your service, sir.
Captain, I'm honored. Please sit down, all of you. Correa, some refreshments for our guests. This is indeed a surprise, my dear. What brings you so far from home?
I've come on behalf of a great cause, to ask for your help.
Well, if I can help you, of course I will. What is the cause?
To make a better world.
Oh. Well, of course, in a cause like that, I'm completely at your service. How will it be accomplished?
By destroying the demon. Drink.
Oh.
This is delicious, Uncle Carl. What is it?
Just a local beverage, made from bananas, I believe.
And sugar.
Captain Labiche, you have a fine young officer here in Lieutenant Wilhelm, and a more peaceful island than Curfew would be very difficult to find. So what brings you here?
Not peace, Herr van Mulder.
The sword, then?
I'm a man of the sword.
It is said that he who lives by the sword
must have a strong arm, Herr van Mulder.
What are you two talking about?
They're having some jokes among themselves, mademoiselle.
The humor seems rather grim.
You see, mademoiselle, your uncle suspects I have come to this island to make trouble. This is not correct. Trouble is already here. And I have come to stamp it out, to bring law.
Whose law, Captain? The people of Curfew have had their own for centuries and...
Pagan superstition, witchcraft, magic, ritual mutilation, human sacrifice, and other practices of a sort, which cannot be discussed in the presence of a young lady. Your pardon, mademoiselle.
What sort of practices?
Well, the young men and the young women get together and...
Wilhelm.
Yes, sir.
You see, Herr van Mulder, to me the law is a simple matter. There is right and there is wrong.
And you are constantly amazed at the number of people who fail to recognize your simple formula.
Herr van Mulder, you have a great influence here. I had hoped that we could be allies, you and I.
Perhaps we can, Captain. Perhaps we can.
Fine.
Come into my laboratory. I'd like to show you something.
Uncle Carl, I had no idea you were a scientist.
Oh, my interests are many and varied, my dear. For years, I've been making a study of the culture of the people of Curfew.
How do you like this little fellow?
Did you know that when the Egyptians were raising the pyramids, the people here on this little island were raising something much more important, or perhaps less tangible?
And what would that be?
A power. A vast, untapped power that has laid dormant for thousands of years, just waiting the key to unlock its secrets.
Oh, I see. And where is this power to be found?
In the human mind.
And the key?
Captain Labiche, you see that tiny mirror on the weight attached to it? Do you believe that by the mere concentration of a human will that can be made to move?
That? Of course not. What nonsense.
Of course, for you, then it would be impossible. But I believe. Therefore,
And that is your vast untapped power?
one man alone did not build the pyramids. You saw the tiny movement of that mirror caused by the concentration of one human mind. Think what would be done by the concentration of thousands of minds, all stronger than mine, upon one single object. Oh, we would indeed have a new world. No more war, no pestilence. No hunger, famine, disease. Perhaps even no more death.
Ah, bah. Politics. I am disappointed you think me so gullible, Herr van Mulder.
My life's work, a parlor trick. Kalea, this gentleman would like a more impressive demonstration.
Tremiche. Jimbabo. Benfere. Kalendiso kalendo.
Captain Labiche, I must warn you that if you insist on interfering with the customs and traditions of these people, it'll be very dangerous, not only for you, but for others. In the name of humanity, I beg you to go back to the mainland at once and leave this forgotten island in peace.
I am the law, Herr van Mulder, and the law can forget no one.
Attention, Star Cadets! This is Captain Paxar of the Interdimensional Peace Force speaking. All Star Cadets are ordered to report every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Earth Pacific Standard Time to these internet coordinates, where you will be sent on a daring mission through time, space, and alternate dimensions, alongside such classic retro sci-fi heroes as Flash Gordon, Captain Zero, Tom Corbett's Space Cadet, Space Angel, and many others. Again, report to these internet coordinates every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Earth Pacific Standard Time for Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour. And always remember, Star Cadets, keep the peace.
Take the girl to my quarters.
Janet's car? Yeah. There's not a trace of it.
Let me loose. Do you hear me? You will be soon as big as a giant. Or, like all the others, dead.
You know that Dambala does not like this kind of thing.
No. No, don't do it. Please. Please.
Tambala, Tambala. Who is this Tambala? Hogwash.
Oh, the religious symbol. Their leader. You're not important.
Witchcraft. Living death. People sacrifice in ceremonial rites. And you say it's not important?
Look, Captain, this is not Paris. You do well to respect these people's customs. That was the first thing I learned when I got here.
What you didn't learn, Lieutenant, is how to cope with these fanatics. Now it's up to me. Tonight we'll find a ceremonial site and surround it.
Interfering with these people's religion is playing with fire.
I'm used to it, monsieur. Make the necessary preparations.
This way, Captain.
I ordered you to disperse at once. Allez, get out! Allez! The only way to handle these people, Wilhelm. Now they know who gives the orders.
I fear so, Capitan Laviche.
You know, sometimes I think you know more than you let on, and I love to cooperate. Are you sure you don't know who Dambala is?
I'm sure. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
We'll see about that. Place a guard of 3 men here.
Tony, I think we're going to get very, very drunk tonight.
beaten to death. There were no guards around. They almost devoured her.
Voodoo. Zombies. Cannibal women. This woman was killed by madmen, and I intend to put a stop to it.
They say they're dead. Left their tombs to join the walking dead. There were still a few cannibal women around when we found her. We saw them running off into the brush. We could even see the blood on their faces.
Cannibal woman. Nothing but superstitious rot!
They ate human flesh because they've been cursed by Damballa.
That's enough! I'll bring these people to their wits, no matter what it takes. I shall order a general curfew in this region until the leaders of this organization can be discovered and punished.
Curfew? Over the entire island? But that's impossible.
I quite agree. I have written the government in protest. But for the present, all I can do is carry out my orders.
Of course. But what do you think the people will do?
Well, I don't know. It's not the police they're afraid of. It's the zombies.
Zombies? Oh, here on Cowboy, but really?
Well, they're afraid that they'll come down from the mountains.
But what are these zombies?
Oh, it's a voodoo superstition. They're supposed to be the walking dead, raised from their graves by magic and put to work in the cane fields, like slaves.
Against the day when Baron Zamdi will be invoked to lead them.
Lead them to what?
Who knows? Baron Zamdi is the Messiah of darkness. He will bring a whole new world. At least, that's what the natives say.
Yeah, so they say. Well, this calls for a drink.
Yes, Lieutenant, thank you. I'll join you in that.
Annabella, you don't mind when your uncle drinks. Why this unfair discrimination against me?
Uncle Carl may be forgiven because of his age. In his case, it serves a medicinal purpose.
Mademoiselle, you are a fanatic.
She asked a very important question there. What are these zombies? While this film was being shot in Mexico and Hollywood, the producers would have no way of knowing that a small, low-budget, independent film was being shot in Pennsylvania that would forever change the answer to that question.
Welcome to a night of total terror. Night of the Living Dead.
After Night of the Living Dead, zombies became shambling flesh eaters, no longer the undead servants resurrected by voodoo. When this film was released in 1971, it was already considered old-fashioned. But there's nothing wrong with old-fashioned. Ha ha! We'll be right back.
The artist, the poet, the figure model who loves to show it.
You suppose he could be physically attracted to her?
No, man, he ain't the type. You don't get enough vitamin E.
All these are beat. All these you'll meet in A Bucket of Blood.
Let us make the scene. Crazy.
Enjoy yourself. Where the hilarious enjoy the horrifying in A Bucket of Blood.
No, you're gonna shoot me! Don't shoot!
Come to the land of living dreams, where realists dream of the unreal.
Walter, you've done something to me. Something deep down inside of my prana. Oh, Walter, I want to be with you. You're creative.
Beatniks at their bawdiest. The creative urge at its most primitive.
I'm deeply moved, and I shall compose a poem
Love is art. Art is love. It's the weirdest and the wildest.
I don't want to make statues anymore. I want to get married. To you.
Now back to the Snake People, as Van Mulder and the lieutenant have a sociable drink and discuss the local zombie problem. Hey, Lieutenant, how's that drink treating you?
I've never seen a zombie, but I'm starting to feel like one. This is pretty good stuff.
Uncle Carl, what would it take to invoke this barren samedi? It says here, an ultimate act of horror.
Tradition says that Dambala, who is the servant of Baron Samedi, must produce a human sacrifice. Then Baron Samedi will appear.
Mein Herr, the new
Crenshaw.
Oh.
I have guests.
Excuse me. I must speak to you, mein Herr. Most urgent.
I'm sorry, Klingsaw is my overseer. Apparently there's trouble in the cane fields. I'll be back.
This business with the police, the curfew.
I know about that.
It can only lead to one thing. The workers are becoming restless. They can feel the danger in the air.
Then do what you must do, Klingsaw. But don't go too far.
Nothing. Everyone stayed indoors.
If at least we could get just one of them. What is it?
The drums, Captain. The drums.
You've been out here among these savages too long. A living dead. could be next.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid we could.
Good. It will be necessary to find an informer to disclose the identity of the leaders. Do you agree?
I agree, sir.
There is hope for you yet, Wilhelm.
Thank you, sir.
Mingo, I have a task for you. And if you do just as I say, there will be a handsome reward.
Sleep. Offer your dreams to Damballa. Sleep. Offer your dreams to Damballa. Offer your dreams to Damballa.
Alone in a graveyard at midnight. This is Lewis Moffat, a freshman at State College of Medicine, on his way to fulfill a fraternity hazing assignment, a victim of fear.
I'm studying medicine not because Dad was a doctor, but because, well, I feel I have the qualifications that'll make a good doctor. For instance, I'm not afraid of any of it. I'm not afraid of the blood or the corpses or the operations.
Mr. John Doe left this world with one possession on him, a gold ring.
Here displaying false courage to the amazement of his fellow students.
Hey, why all the curiosity?
Oh, I just wondered if Lou's assignment was as weird as mine.
Weird? Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.
We dare you to see the picture that Hollywood was afraid to exhibit. And the slithering hand came forth. Could life have endured therein?
want you close to me. Your mouth. Like this.
So, is it me or does Voodoo look kind of fun? I mean, all the drumming and the dancing, all the ceremonies are like a Las Vegas floor show. Although, I could do without the chicken and goat sacrifices. And the cannibal women. Well, on second thought. All right, no cannibal women. It's a family show. Do you love horror, science fiction, B-movies, horror hosts, old-time radio, just plain spooky stuff? Then you should sign up at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. You'll be supporting the production of Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Theater, presenting the best, worst, and wildest horror films ever made. Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, featuring the best of old-time radio horror. Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour, showing classic 1950s sci-fi shows for Star Cadets of all ages. Plus, you'll get exclusive access to bonus content like Behind the Curtains of the Wrackin Auditorium, a deep dive into radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's B-movie reviews, a look at a classic low-budget drive-in feature, and much more. Sign up today at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah for the love of horror.
Dance, baby, dance, come and dance with me. Hear the beat of the pounding steam. Ride, baby, ride, come and ride with me. Let your feet go easy and
What do you make of this? Where does the other end go? It dumps into the ocean.
It looks exactly like the South American Fantigua fish. I hope you can take one alive, Sheriff.
I still believe that a human clawed that girl to death. The Beach Girls and the Monster, starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub. Music by Frank Sinatra Jr.
You got a monster in the surf. Yeah, yeah.
Chicks, do you have a problem? You won't have after you meet the monster on the beach. If you see this ghoul, play it cool. Beauties in bikinis, laughing, singing, surfing, sinning. Beach party lovers making hey-hey in the moonlight while the monster waits and watches. Yeah. This one will kill you.
We now return to the Snake People as the sacred weekly Voodoo floor show and ice cream social gets awkward.
Damballa! Damballa! Tell us, who killed Cirque and Mingo, huh? Who is Damballa? Speak! Speak! This is all over the island, you damn idiot! They brought Mingo back last night in a basket. You don't stop violence with violence. I'm fed up with waiting. Maybe they don't know anything. They won't tell us who their leaders are, because they're afraid. Well, when they begin to be afraid of me, more afraid of me, and they shall, I assure you, then the names will come. Hold on, Lieutenant. Have a drink. Wilhelm! Wilhelm! Maria! Scratch my back. Fan me. Smile. Say something to me. Imagine. Beautiful woman who can't talk. Every man's dream. Ah. You were beautiful when you were alive, weren't you? Even now, in a strange way. Tell me, my beautiful Maria, are you really dead, or are you? You don't feel dead.
You. Is this the mockery you make of our lifetime of work? To defile the daughter of a god with your brutal lust?
You shouldn't have done that, Carl.
Not enough that you turned the workers loose on the streets of the town, taking the lives of innocent people?
The police needed to be taught a lesson.
You taught them a lesson, all right. La Biche has gathered a larger force than ever before and armed them with pistols. Now they're going to scour the island at this time of all times when I hold you responsible for this Klingsor. I'm going to make sure that I can trust you. Galère.
No. No, don't. Please, don't. Maria.
Maria! So Dambala's little world is falling apart. Herr Klingscher, I'm sure we can do business. As you say, we both want something. What I want is well known. What you want is clearly visible on your face. Therefore, let us proceed with our bargain. If your information leads to the success of my mission here, I can assure you that my influence in the colonial government will be sufficient to arrange some...
It is tonight.
Tonight? What is tonight?
The invocation of Baron Samedi. There will be a human sacrifice. If you do exactly as I tell you, you will be able to capture the Voodoo leaders in an act of murder. Isn't that enough for you, Captain?
Very well. What is your plan?
Horror. Experience the subtle magic of old-time radio horror every week with Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium. Available on YouTube and most podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium.
From the depths of hell comes The Devil's Messenger, starring the master of mystery Lon Chaney and Karen Carroll.
My message. You'd have to go back. Up there.
No, I can't. I won't go back.
You delivered that to a Mr. Donald Powell. Don't be afraid of me.
The Devil's Messenger delivers gifts from hell, turning man into a ravaging beast.
I took a picture of that old farmhouse. There's nobody in the picture. You saw it. Was there anybody in it?
No, there wasn't.
Somebody has come out of that house, and they're coming toward me.
Back from the dead, his lovely victim seeks revenge for her horrible death at the hands of a man driven mad by a gift from hell. Trapped in her icy tomb until the Devil's Messenger exposed her nakedness in her crystal prison.
Now let's get down to here.
She becomes the object of a scientist's lust. His consuming desire for her drives him to commit murder to keep her for himself. Not since Eve received the apple have gifts inflicted such unnatural consequences.
Tonight at midnight, you will be dead.
Just how do you intend to kill me?
I've no idea. I don't even know you.
The crystal ball foreshadows doom, for it is the plaything of the devil, and only he can change the events it foresees. You must see what the Devil's Messenger has in store for you.
We now return to The Snake People, where Clinsor has gone to the police with plans to stop the voodoo ceremony to summon Baron Samedi, while the lieutenant has other plans for Annabella.
Go on. I find all this very interesting.
Yes, isn't it? I never realized Uncle Carl was such a scientist.
Yes, fascinating.
For instance, here he tells about the snake bite and the drug that's used for its antidote.
Charming.
He believes that the combination of the two slows down the metabolism.
Metabolism. Yes, beautiful.
And the heartbeat, so much that the person appears to be dead. But he isn't. Well, the sun seems to be about gone. It's getting rather dark.
He isn't dead. Go on, I'm listening.
Well, Uncle Carl thinks that this technique can be used for surgery on the heart or brain.
On the heart. The heart's very important.
Yes, but there's a problem here.
Oh, no.
The drug keeps the body alive, but the brain is destroyed by the action of the venom. So the victim becomes a sort of walking vegetable. Oh, excuse me. Well, anyway,
You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Go on. Then what?
Well, he wants to find a way to avoid this effect.
What effect?
The effect?
Mademoiselle, the fire of the sunset in your eyes is consuming my heart.
Lieutenant, are you making advances toward me?
I love you, Annabelle.
Andrew, please. I told you. Lips that have touched alcohol shall never touch me.
Yes? What do you want?
Orders, Lieutenant, from Captain Labiche.
Well, you can tell Captain Labiche to...
The police have deserted. The captain wants you to come with me to headquarters.
I see. Wait a minute.
Andrew, will you come back soon?
Very soon, darling. Now, only death could keep me from you. But are you sure that this man Klingshore can be trusted?
I trust no one, of course. And our police force has deserted us en masse.
Does that surprise you?
It's neither here nor there. But now we are alone, Lieutenant.
Are you suggesting that we carry out this, raid by ourselves?
Precisely. Precisely. But we have an ally that's worth 50 men. High explosives. Bullets may not kill these zombies, or whatever they are. But I'm sure blowing them to bits will be most effective.
Traitor. Traitor.
I didn't say anything. I was just putting some things away.
You squealer.
Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is, Mr. Boogeyman, King of Blood, they used to call me. Marx Brothers makes you laugh, Garbo makes you weep, Orlok makes you scream. From which Boris Karloff film does that line come? A. Frankenstein, 1970. B. The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. C. The Comedy of Terrors. Or D. Targets. Mr. Boogeyman, King of Blood, they used to call me. Marx Brothers makes you laugh. Garbo makes you weep. Orlok makes you scream. From which Boris Karloff film does that line come? We'll find out after this sadly necessary interruption. And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question. Mr. Boogeyman, King of Blood, they used to call me. Marx Brothers makes you laugh. Garbo makes you weep. Orlok makes you scream. From which Boris Karloff film does that line come? It was D. Targets. Oh yes, my lords and ladies, Targets from 1968, in which Boris Karloff plays the rather autobiographical role of Byron Orlok, an aged horror actor convinced to make one last personal appearance, only to face a psychotic sniper in a drive-in. If you haven't seen this gritty, brilliant film, see it. It's well worth it. But now, on to the conclusion of The Snake People, as the ceremony to summon Baron Samedi commences, and the blood begins to flow.
Who are you? Who are you? Tell me your name.
What? Speak your name. My glasses.
My glasses. My glasses.
My glasses. Who are you? Ah. Permessiva del Bernutegit. Branza. Voi che entrati.
Gambala.
with Annabella. I have a better solution.
Gambala himself will offer his blood for Shirta.
All right. I only hope it works.
Sallow! Van Mulder, you are a charlatan, a fraud.
Nothing will stop the sacrifice, Captain.
Stop! You think that this miserable pig could be master of the legions of the dead? How foolish. His feeble mind is an open book to such a one as Kalea. You came to witness a sacrifice, so you shall. And you shall witness the dawn of a new age upon the earth, the age of the Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi, your army awaits. Manifest yourself before us now. We are ready for your dominion on earth.
A fraud.
Ah, Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi.
Continue the sacrifice. I'm dying, Kalea. Offer my blood and the blood of my niece Annabella to Baron Samedi. So that they can start a new empire on Earth. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Wow, he blew it up real good. In case you're wondering about that weird voice that cropped up in that last scene.
Continue the sacrifice. I'm dying, Kalea. Offer my blood and the blood of my niece Annabella to Baron Samedi.
Yep, that was supposed to be Boris Karloff's voice. It was dubbed in ridiculously badly, and it's also the worst Boris Karloff impression I have ever heard. I'm assuming they just didn't have the budget to record the lines after the production was over. Well, my lords and ladies, I want to thank you all for watching. And I want to invite you all back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. Ha ha! As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.